Oh, G Funky Boxing. If you're new to the channel, subscribe with the like button, hit the notification bell. Guys, I didn't plan on coming on today. The fights were on a little early. I'm on the West Coast, so a little bit early for me. And, you know, right now it's a little difficult for me to do anything right now early, you know. So want to come on now. The kids are asleep. What's going on round one? Thanks for being here, man. Man, this guy's a great supporter, man. He's here every show. And, I just want to say this, man. It's frustrating, man. You boxing fans, and I'm not talking about you guys that are here right now, but I'm generalizing right now, man. All right. Man, boxing fans can be the absolute worst when it comes to certain things, man. Like, I mean, I'm on social media after the fight's over, and I'm seeing people having such, horrible takes on the fight. Horrible takes, man. Joyce is done at this point, according to a lot of people. He's trash. Just like I have in the title. He's trash now. That's what I'm seeing, you know? And this is ridiculous, man. Now, look, I want to say this. Credit to Zhang for going in there and really thoroughly outboxing Joyce for the first 6 rounds. I had him up. I had him up 4 rounds to 2. Or I had him winning 4 rounds up to that point, and I was gonna give him that 6th round, but we didn't get to finish the 6th round, um, unfortunately. So it's it's frustrating, man, to see these sort of things. Like this is what I've been talking about for a long time on this channel, guys, about how just because someone takes a loss doesn't mean we throw them away. Like, we can't do that. We just can't do that to these guys anymore, man. Like, look, the Mayweather and the Andre Ward era really fucked up a lot of fans, man. It really did. And now everybody has to finish their career undefeated. Now everybody has to be a defensive wizard. Like, come on, guys. Like, and again, look, credit to Zhang, man. But I would have liked to have seen the fight go on a little further because my issue with the stoppage was this, guys, and I'm going to show you why I had an issue with the stoppage today. Now look, Joyce's eye was bad. It swelled up pretty quickly, and he his I think his nose was swollen too. But look, here's what I'm going to show you. Look, see this right here. This was moments before they stopped the fight, and I listened to it again before I came on live. So I want to make sure I wasn't tripping, right? But when I watched it live and I seen that the doctor was doing an exam on his eye, and I haven't read anything yet. I don't. To me, it didn't seem like there was a broken bone or anything on Joyce's face, any kind of fracture, because the doctor did push on it. And believe me, guys, if you have a broken bone around your eye and someone's pushing on it, like, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna grimace. I don't care how tough you are. You're gonna make it's. You're gonna have a reaction to it. And he didn't really have a reaction to it. Just before, you see the doctor right there holding up the one. Just before that, he held up 3 fingers, and he held up 3 fingers in a weird way too. And Joyce, I heard him say 3, and then when he put up the 1 finger, he said 1. And you see him, he's covering his left eye because the right eye is swollen. And that's my only issue with the stoppage, is that he could still see. He didn't take a knee or anything like that, and he did get rocked in the second round. But he didn't go down. And like I say, he didn't take a knee because he was in so much pain. So I didn't like the stoppage, man. I didn't, and I felt like Joyce was it was starting to turn into a Joyce type of fight. In my opinion, it was. I really did feel that way. Like he was coming on. Um, and Zhang has a history. He's got a history of gassing guys late in fights. Like it or not, he does. And it would have been interesting to see if they would have let that thing go on a little bit further. But look, credit to let's give Zhang a hand, man. Credit to him, man. You know? So let me read some comments here before I go on to the next topic. I'm not next topic. Before I continue to talk, round one here says yes. 5 kids all played several sports. Their teams win and lose. It's part of sports. Why do we throw fighters away? Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I don't understand it, man. These guys, a lot of these new fans, you could tell that they just came in during the Mayweather era and then the Andre Ward era, where those guys finished undefeated. So now they expect guys to go their whole career without taking a loss. Like this is ridiculous, man. And look, let's just be honest, man. The heavyweight division is not that good. All these guys are beatable. Like Fury's the best heavyweight, obviously, right? And you got Usik behind him, but like Joyce can beat any of those guys, I think. He could still beat any of them. And I always tell you guys, let's see how these guys recover from a loss. Instead of throwing them away after a loss, let's see how they come back from the loss. You know? That's what we got to do. That's what we got. That's how you know. And he's got a good trainer in his corner, Nishmal Salas. Got a really good trainer. Let's see here. What goes around comes around. Look at what Joel Joyce did against Daniel Dubois, and Zhili Zhang did the same. Well, I mean, it's fighting, man. You know, I don't think it has anything to do with karma. Like what goes around comes around. I mean, these guys are getting punched in the face for a living. You know, maybe he should try the cross arm guard. I mean, look, they have to tweak something. That's for sure. I don't think he's ever going to be this guy that's going to be make you miss and make you pay. That's just out of the cards. And you know, I'm seeing people on social media say those kind of things, and I'm like, guys, this is not. Again, the Mayweather era. Like, not everyone's going to be Floyd Mayweather and make guys miss and make guys pay all night long. Like, we got to move on, man. As boxing fans, we got to move on from that era. It was not a good era. I'm sorry, it just wasn't. I've been watching boxing a really long time. Over 30 years, I've been watching boxing. That era was probably the worst, man. Probably the worst. And the crazy thing is, like, I'm seeing it from people that always complain about guys being over defensive. Oh, you know, being boring. Like, that's not Joyce. Joyce is an exciting fighter. He takes punches, right? He gets hit. He punches back hard. He comes forward, applies pressure. And these are all the fans that are throwing him away now because he took a loss. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. What's going on, El Cheeto? I haven't seen you in a while, man. Hit me up sometime, bro, behind the scenes. Let's see. Isaac Bruder says, Joe Joyce said everyone got a plan till they get hit or punch me in the face. I mean, look, he's still got a good chin. They fought in the amateurs. It was called like the World Series of Boxing or something like that. It's an amateur tournament, but they fight more rounds and they fight without headgear. But yes, Joyce did lose to. And you know, I brought this up last night on the show. That Zhang is a he hasn't been in with a southpaw in a long time, and Zhang is a southpaw. What's going on, Mad Dog H? Appreciate you, man. Let's see. Mayweather was the Great Depression. Dude, it was bad. It was not a good era, man. I'm sorry, it just wasn't. There's a there is a lot more better qualities of heavyweights now that the Klitschko era. Yeah, the Klitschko era is fucking awful too. Awful era. Probably the worst. I would say the worst since I've been watching boxing. It was terrible. Terrible. I'm sorry, it just was. Let's see, I was waiting for Zhang to gas out he wasn't he hasn't shown a good gas tank. No, he hasn't. And that's why I felt like Joyce should have got a chance to move on because he could still see out of that eye. And that's why I had a problem with it, you know? And let's see here. QT says, I remember watching Zhang versus Herkovich and thinking Zhang should have got a draw. He fought decent then too, but gassed. Yeah, he did fade late in that fight. I actually had him winning that fight. I had him winning that fight against Herkovich by one point. So no, I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah, no, anytime, bro. You know, whenever you're free, you can even just text me, bro. Like it's I gotta talk to you about some stuff anyway. So when you got time, brother, it's no rush, nothing. Um, but the thing is, to me, I felt like there was starting to be a momentum shift in Joyce's favor. And this is not a guarantee that he was gonna win the fight. It's not a guarantee that he was gonna win. But I would have loved to see how it played out, man. And we didn't get a chance to see that. What's going on, Fight Doctor? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for being here. Don't forget, guys, hit the like button for me, man, on the way in, okay? And if you haven't seen my interviews, I've done some interviews recently. I got up some interviews with Raul Marquez, Samson Lukowitz in person, one we did last night on the channel here live. So check those out, guys. A lot of good stuff that we got. And it's got the boxing world social media buzzing, man. My videos are going all over the place. Some people are out there stealing it. Well, I shouldn't say stealing it, but they're using the interview to make content and not giving me the credit for it, man. If you can believe that. But don't worry, they will be addressed. Okay, they will be addressed. Modern King Boxing, what's up, man? Let me know what you guys think, man. Did you guys feel like Joyce was starting to have a little momentum shift in his favor up until the fight got stopped? And again, the reason why I felt like he should have got a chance to go on was because when this happened, when the doctor examined his eye, he was still able to see. You know, he's asking him how many fingers, and Joyce answered every time, man. And he answered right. So yeah, man. Yeah. Okay, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this. Look, if you like Canelo, I have an issue with that, but nobody's ducking nobody. That doesn't happen in boxing. He was losing the fight. I agree with you. I had Zhang winning, and I was gonna give him. He was winning. I think there was. Hold on, let me check. I got the fucking picture right here. Let's see. At the time of the stoppage, there was still. Well, wait a minute. Now I gotta remove your comment. Sorry, man. Okay, there was about half a round left. I felt like Zhang was winning this round up until that point, so I was gonna give him that round, and he was winning, no doubt. But I feel like there was a momentum shift, man. I do feel that way. I feel like Joyce was starting to let the hands go more. He was starting to land more punches himself. But Zhang is, I mean, again, Southpaw, good counter puncher. That's a tough matchup for anybody, man. And that's why the heavyweight division is such a mystery at this point, you know, because any of these guys can lose at any time. And again, we can't just throw them away. That's my problem, man. Like, we can't throw guys away because they take a loss, man. Like, this is ridiculous. Who would I favor? I don't know. That's a good question. That's a really good question. I'd have to think about that. I wouldn't even, Dan wasn't even thinking about that fight. I appreciate that round one. Again, if you guys haven't seen the interviews, check them out. You didn't give him a round. I gave him a couple, but he was definitely losing. Definitely losing. I agree with you on that. I think Joyce started mixing it up decent after the fourth, but he was still getting caught flush. Yeah, and that wasn't going to stop, you know. But what I want to, again, he was still getting hit, but when he got caught early in the second round and he got rocked a little bit, right? He recovered quick. See, that's another thing that people don't consider in boxing is recovery. That's a big part of boxing. If a guy gets hurt, how do they recover from it? Do they recover at all? And Joyce recovered nicely, you know? But again, he was starting to pick up the pace, man, and I really wanted to see how Zhang would handle that down the stretch. And we just didn't get a chance to see it, man. And that's why I'm disappointed, but again, with the throwing Joyce away after this, like, you guys should have seen some of the things I was reading on social media after this fight. I mean, I said, "You know what? I'm just gonna log off, man. This is insane what's going on here. Absolutely insane." So, yeah, come on, give me a second, guys. I'm getting a phone call. All right, had nothing to do with the show. That's why I wanted to mute it. But I'm back. Okay, let's read some comments. Let's see. No, that I was only going to get worse. Joyce had no answers for the left. But again, I look, I agree. He was still getting hit with the left, but he was coming back, man. The momentum was shifting, in my opinion. It was starting to shift. And I would have liked to seen how Zhang responded to that, you know? Daniel Dubois is not seasoned enough to fight Alexander Usik. That's the fight that's going to happen, though. It seems like it. That's what it seems like. No, I mean, I understand your point, man. I do, but this is boxing, man. We've seen guys fight through worse, in my opinion. I mean, look, that referee let Tyson Fury fight with that awful cut over his eye against was it who was that guy? Wallin? There was a lot of people that felt that fight could have been stopped because of that cut. So I mean, I mean, we've seen worse situations, you know. And again, I'm not trying to say that Joyce was going to come back and win this fight down the stretch. I just wanted to see it unfold because he was starting to pick up the pace. You know, he's got great stamina, Joyce, and Zhang is not known for that. So that's why I was just like, oh, you stopped it now, like, geez. Oh man. Let's see here. Heavyweights aren't what they used to be. Well, I mean, compared to what? Compared to what era, you know? Because I would say that this era is better than the Klitschko era by far, in my opinion. We're getting a lot better fights, and I'm digging the new heavyweight era right now. You know, very competitive, very competitive. Let's read some more comments. Hey, Peter Von Arx, what's up, man? He says Joyce got stung in the first round. I gave him the third round because of activity. That's it. Yeah, I only gave him two. And I was getting ready to give Zhang that last round, um, but the referee and the doctor decided to stop it. I think Zhang can mess up some of these promoters' investments. The Dubois talent bracket of fighters. Zhang is going to be a tough matchup, man. The only problem is he's up there in age. You know, he's 39. I'm 39 years old. So I know what it feels like to get out of bed at 39. I'm sure some of you are probably maybe older than me. I don't know. But we'll see, man. I like Zhang though. And I said last night, I said, hey, you know what? He's gonna land that shot on Joyce because Joyce, again, not the best defensively. So he's gonna catch him. I want to see how Joyce handles it. And he got hurt. So he recovered. And again, that's the thing that I was trying to tell you guys about recovery. We have to take that into consideration. He recovered, never went down. He never got, in my opinion, never really got hurt again. It's just the eye got swolled up from the left hands. And man, I just wish we could have seen it. And I'm just sick and tired of fans throwing fighters away after one loss, man. It's just ridiculous, man. Ridiculous in my opinion. Let's see. Joyce's activity was just a desperate attempt. He had nothing on his punches, and it was just a matter of time. Let's see. Zhang had a measured good stoppage. I don't agree with the stoppage, man. I just don't. And because Zhang's history of fading, I would have loved to see how it went. Let's see. Zhang versus Wallin, the battle of the Southpaw heavyweights. I mean, it's a possibility, but Zhang now is a mandatory for Usik. for the WBO. And that's great, man. But what's going on, Dave? Thanks for being here, man. Uh at least not in the first 6 rounds. He wasn't doing that. No. Remember that fight Josh Taylor finished looking like, oh yeah. Yeah, dude's eye was, I mean, again, like we've seen a lot worse, man, and it not get stopped. That's my problem, man. And again, the fact that he was still able to see, you know, that's my issue with the stoppage. And but my real issue is with the fans, you know? That's my real issue with them. Just throwing this guy away. Oh, he was a bum. He was never that good anyway. I told you guys he was this and he was that. Like some people are mad because there was people saying that he reminds you of the old heavyweights. And then, people get offended by that a lot, these days. The historians, But I mean, look, we can't do this to fighters, man, when they take one loss, right? They take one loss in a good matchup. We can't do this to them.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Well, we can't do that, man. Okay? We just can't continue to do that. Because guess what? After one loss, they're not going to want to get back in there again because everybody thinks I'm a bum now. You ask them to fight a tough fight after that, they're going to be like this.
I said, all right, I'll tell you something. Go fuck your mother.
That's what they're going to tell you. So, I mean, look, I still think Joyce can beat some of these heavyweights, man. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think he could beat any of them, including Fury. Yes, including Fury. Usik. Because, again, when Usik beat him in the amateurs, they didn't fight 12 rounds. It's a different game, man. And I think he can beat any of these guys, man. Stephen, what's going on, man? He says Joyce is used to being the bigger man and being able to physically and mentally dominate his opponents. But against Zhang, he couldn't do that. And Zhang had the power to rock him. Yeah, and that's another thing I mentioned. Good point. It's another thing I mentioned in my my prediction last night, and Dave was with me as well. We talked about how they're the same height, but he outweighed him by 22 pounds, And I wanted to know how he was going to handle Zhang's punch because he's going to be the bigger man, I don't know, man. I would favor Zhang at this point because I don't know what Wilder's got left. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Wilder, but the guy took 2 brutal beatings from Tyson Fury back to back, and then he comes back a year later, fights Hellenius, he gets a half a round in. So I just don't know where Wilder is at this point. But I would favor Zhang, no doubt about it. See, Joyce couldn't see out of his eye. Nah, man, he could see. Like that was that's what I was saying. Like if you go back and listen, the highlights are on Top Rank's channel. Just go to this part right here. Like you could hear him say that he could see one. He says it right there. The doctor's asking him like how many fingers can you see, and he's saying one. So that was one of my major issues with the stoppage. Was that he could still see, and to me, it didn't look like it was broken, like he had a broken bone or anything like that. Cheeto says he'll take Wilder. Let's see. It's boxing. Fighters get beat. It happens. I'm not down on Joyce after this. No, nobody should be. You're absolutely right, Peter. You're absolutely right. The CG Funk, let's be real. Boxing fans are an endangered. Yeah, man. It's again, the Mayweather era has really fucked up a lot of fans, bro. They think if you get hit too much, or in their opinion, if you get hit too much in a fight, you look like shit, even though you won. If you get beat, you're a bum, you're no good because you can't be undefeated. Like it's fucking crazy, man. Fucking crazy. Like we have to look, if guys give us the fights that we want and then they take a loss, like we can't do this to them, man. They're giving us what we want. This was a good matchup. This was a damn good matchup. And Zhang comes out on top. Credit to him, man. He's got himself an opportunity now. Let's see, Joyce versus Herkovich. A good fight. Yeah. And again, I said earlier, I think Zhang won that fight against Herkovich, but he's on to bigger and better things. Let's see. Do you think Fury or Usyk will lose eventually? Yeah, I think all these guys are beatable. I do. I truly do believe that, man. Let's see. Fury sparks Joyce. Joyce didn't take his head off the line, and no, you're right. No head movement tonight. And I don't know if that's ever going to be a thing with Joyce. You know, I think he'll have better success trying to catch punches or parry punches, depending on who he's in there with. But I don't see I don't see a lot of head movement in the future for Joyce at all. And again, we've seen guys that fight behind, strictly behind a high guard, um, nice and tight. Some things can be tweaked, that's for sure. But I think that more than anything, I think it was just Zhang being a southpaw is really what gave Joyce fits, man. And I tell you guys all the time when I break down fights, the southpaw advantage it's a real thing, man, with some fighters. They just can't fight southpaws, man. It looks like Joyce might be one of those guys. See, amateurs they get one round each and then they better win the last or you lose. Yeah. Amateurs are messed up, man. I've been to quite a few amateur tournaments back in the day. Okay, let's see. They're talking okay. Um if the fight would have gone on, Joyce would have had Antonio Margarito. I don't know, man. I don't know. What if Zhang faded in the next couple rounds? See, like that's the messed up part about it, man. You know, that's really the messed up part about it for me. But Zhang, did his thing tonight. He was clearly winning the fight and outboxing Joyce. Clearly, you know. Let's see. I agree. We can't shit on them because they know we can't, man. And that's something that we have to push, man, as content creators here. Like we know the fanboy channels out there. They love undefeated records and shit like that. And most of the time, if your guy's undefeated, it's probably because he hasn't fucking fought nobody. That's what it is, man. The Mayweather era, people think he never had a bloody mouth or get hit at all. They fantasy, yeah, man. That's what we get today, man. And that's what people are talking about with Joyce. Like they want to turn him into like a defensive wizard. Like that's not gonna happen, guys. It's not. Can he do some things to improve his defense? Absolutely. Like I said, tighten up that high guard a little bit more if you don't want to move your upper body side to side. Um, maybe not extend your arms out, but just open up the guard, catch and parry shots. There are some things that he can do, but he's never going to be this guy that's not going to get hit with shots in there, man. Like we're not going to see that. Can anyone imagine if Muhammad Ali was a southpaw? Oh, geez, no, no. That would be a nightmare for fighters. This is Zhang could match Joyce physically, and he had better boxing skills to go with it. Yeah, he's a great counterpuncher, man, and his left hand is beautiful. But again, the problem is that he fades, man, and that's why I wanted to see because I do feel like Joyce was starting to pick up the pace, man, and he was starting to throw more punches, land more punches. It would have been interesting to see. There was just a whole half of the fight left. A whole half of the fight was left, and I would have liked to see it. See, Blazeman says you got to let the fight play out sometimes. Yeah, we just never know. And again, we've seen a lot of guys fight with worse swollen eyes than that. Stoppage was legit. Doctor looked at the eye twice, then advised the ref to stop. The referee took a long look at Joyce and agreed. I mean, yeah, I mean, look, there's nothing we can do about it at this point. I disagree. I feel like it should have been let to continue because he did answer the questions that the doctor asked him when he said, how many fingers can you see? And he got it right. So he could see. But they just decided to stop it, man. And that's, my opinion means nothing. I'm just giving my opinion, but it doesn't mean anything on the official outcome. Peter Von Ark says Zhang trains in New Jersey. A lot of good fighters come out of Jersey. Smart move. Yeah, I didn't know that. Wow, that's good information. I did not know that about Zhang. Um, But yeah, guys, I didn't want to stay on here too long. I just want to come on here and say that again, we cannot do this to fighters when they take a loss.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
We can't do that, man. We just can't. This is boxing, man. Out of the long history of boxing, man, there's all the greats have taken losses. And I'm not saying that Joyce is going to be a great, but it comes with the territory, man. And we have to tell fans as content creators like, "Hey man, yes, he took a loss. Let's see how he bounces back. Let's see if he can make an adjustment, you know?" Those are important things in boxing, in my opinion. Those are very important things to see how the fighter and the team make an adjustment to the loss, you know? That's important. And Joyce, uh, I don't know if there was a rematch clause in that contract or not. I don't know. We know if he was an Eddie Hearn fighter, there would be one. That's for sure. That fucking guy puts a rematch clause in every fucking fight, and it's annoying. Stops a lot of fights from happening. But we'll see, man. I don't know if they want to go right back in. I personally, I think after watching the fight and the way that the styles clashed, if I was Ishmael Salas and Joyce's manager, like I would tell him, like, look, let's take a couple fights in between before we get back in there with Zhang, because it was definitely style wise, it was a nightmare for Joyce tonight. It really was, man. It really was. Let's see. The eye was swollen shut. Things could have only gotten worse for Joyce. The stoppage was merciful, but yeah, man. But I mean, again, with Zhang's history of fading, and Joyce coming on late, that's why I wanted to see it go on. See if Wilder wants Usik as bad as he says, he should give Zhang a payday this winter and force a fight with. Yeah, I mean, that's a good matchup, but I don't think it's going to happen. Okay, I read that one. Let's see. Joyce will be back. Everyone gets clipped now and then. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And no, I mean you're right. I agree. He was thoroughly outboxing him, man. Thoroughly. But I kind of expected that early. I think most of us kind of expected that early because Joyce is a slow starter. And again, not the best defensively. I was anticipating him getting blasted with some big shots early, and I wanted to see how he was going to take them, you know. But to his credit, he didn't go down and he didn't get hurt again after that. And I felt like he was starting to turn the tide a little bit, you know. It was starting to turn into more of a Joyce fight than Zhang's pace, which was early in the fight. But we cannot throw guys away, man, after a loss. We just can't. We can't do it. Well, Joyce has always been very slow with his feet and his hands, man. But again, his specialty is his his durability and his volume and his stamina, man. And we can get a chance to see that because he's in there against a guy with a history of gassing, man. But look, one more time for Zhang, man. Let's give him a hand. Hell of a win. He was a big underdog tonight. Hell of a win. And anybody out there that dropped some money on Zhang, hey, man, credit to you. You're looking nice right now. You're looking real nice right now if you put some money on him. So I'm gonna wrap this one up, guys. Like I said, I just want to come on here and give my thoughts on it, man. I don't like the fact that fans are throwing fighters away after a loss. Like we got to stop that shit, man. That's ridiculous. So anyways, guys, catch me on the next one. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. And for all you guys, too, if you don't have the notification bell turned on, turn that shit on, man. So you know every time I drop a video or I go live, all right? This is G Funky Boxing, and I'm out.